What's up, everyone? This is Bacon here, and today we are doing a video on the most disliked character in AFK Companions. And if you guessed that that character was Orthros, you would be correct. He is one of the most frustrating characters or heroes to go against in campaign, in tower, in all sorts of areas of the game. And the biggest reason is because of this ability here. It is one of his passives, and it gives him maxed health increase as the battle goes on. So at 15 seconds, he starts to recover health every second. At 30, he becomes immune to control effects. And then at 4, it is just further upgrading. Let's look at the details here. Okay, a little more details than I wanted, but at 4, the increased amount is at 9% per second. And then his max health is up to 180%. He just becomes a really annoying tanky guy between his ultimate, where he stops time and freezes everyone, to, just this ability can be annoying if he goes on one of your carries. The traps thing is, not a big deal, but he's just an annoying character to go against. And you might be cruising through tower, cruising through campaign, and then you just hit this Orthos, and it's like, good luck, GG. Have fun trying to move your characters around a bunch to kill me. You're not going to get it. And so today I want to talk about Orthos, what he actually does, and then how to counter him in campaign. So as I mentioned, his big thing is two things. He kind of has a two-folded thing that makes him really annoying. He stops time for 3 seconds and then attacks the lowest health percentage unit on the battlefield. And then it stuns them and then just does some damage. So that's when he kind of does like the punching thing, everything freezes, and then he kind of regains health while that's going on, which is super annoying. That makes it hard to kind of pin him down and to really just kind of kill him quickly. Now his passive, I already mentioned that, as the battle kind of progressively goes on, he does more damage, or he heals more, which just basically means you got to kill him really fast. Within the 15 seconds is the sweet spot, but if you can get him within the first 30, you're pretty set. It's after that first 30 seconds it can be really frustrating. You could have your entire team alive, everyone on their team dead but Orthros, and then you still can't kill him. And it doesn't matter if he doesn't kill any of your guys, because it's just a minute and a half, and if he survives, you lose. And so I'm going to give you some ideas, some different tips on how to kill Orthros, and then we can kind of go over specific champions. So the thing with Orthros is you just want to kill him as soon as possible. So there's two type of units that you can use. If you're early on, you want to use your units that are just basically built out the most, that are doing a lot of damage. Early on, it doesn't matter as much if they have burst, because it matters more how much you have them built out. For example, Belinda is a good one to kind of burst them down. But if you have a single copy of Belinda, but you have, I don't know, a Thane that's fully built out, you should obviously use the Thane. It doesn't make sense to use the Belinda, because Thane is just stat-wise way superior. Now, as you get later in the game and you have a lot of characters kind of built out, there's a few characters that are pretty bursting, can sometimes burst them out. Now, Belinda paired with Rosaline is really good. She can get her ultimate off 1 or 2 times, and then hopefully that kills them. You can also do Rosaline with Gwyneth. It seems to work pretty well. Going over to Maulers. Chicken Man can be good. He has some CC, so if you build him out, pretty solid. Crassio can really crank out some damage if he's built out. He kind of requires a lot of investment, but if you have him invested pretty high, you can really crank out some damage there. Going over to Wilders, obviously Awakened Solace is good, but she actually doesn't like burst. She just kind of does consistent lots of damage. And so you still need like a bursty unit with her if you're going to do it. I think obviously Trisha's really good. Mishka kind of gets that CC and does some good amount of damage too. Can be really solid. And then other just high damage. Iran, some of that CC can be nice if you position him in the right spot. And then going to Graveborn, this is where you get the sweet spot. You got Nara. Now you can use Nara to hook him early on. So hooking at the beginning of the battle, put him across from Orthros. And then once she hooks him, your whole team collapses on him. So you want to put her in a position where she's going to hook Orthros, and then put your damage nearby so they can all just focus on him and collapse and hopefully kill him quickly. That's the goal. That's probably the easiest strategy to follow. You only need one copy of her. You just need the hook, and then you need everyone else to do something to kill him. Now, as far as some damage characters, Shamira is not bad. Mira can be decent with trying to kill Orthros. Looking here, it's hard because a lot of there's some good heroes like Athalia could be good, but you really need to build her out a lot. Zephyrael could be good, but you really got to build him out a lot. Audrey's not bursty, but from the Hypogene, you actually have a few solid options. Mortas can be a really good counter against him because of his passive. He steals enemies' health and shield when using normal attacks. And so even when Orthos is kind of gaining those health buffs, Mortis will kind of keep him in check and steal some of that health. And then also when he can steal the energy at level 2, that's really strong because Orthros can't do his time freeze ability where he's freezing time, healing, and attacking. And so if you can get a Mortis that is kind of laying it on him, that can be a really strong counter as well. And then you have Mihira, who has her charm ability. Let's see. Which one is the charm? Yeah, her ultimate. So her charm can be pretty good as far as like stalling or keeping him from doing anything. 4 seconds is a solid time. If you happen to have it at level 3, 5 seconds, but 4 seconds should be plenty of time to do that. And then as far as dimensionals go, Ainz, Shaltir, and Marcel are probably your best. You get Shaltir throwing her spears on him if she can get him damage. Shaltir I've found can be pretty solid even if you get past the 30-second mark. She can kind of get some bursty damage going. Ainz, same thing, can be bursty. Marcel can lay down the damage. And so those are the heroes that I would recommend using when going against Orthos. And then obviously, like I mentioned, the big thing is using Nara to hook him. Hopefully that was helpful. A few other options you can think about if you're really stuck is looking at your pets. One pet to consider is the owl. Helps you get your abilities off quicker, builds that ability haste, and so you can kind of use your abilities right away. Some other pets to consider, just kind of trying to see if it'll help out at all, is the spider. He can reduce healing, and so his kind of just abilities naturally reduce healing. And there's a taunt in there as well, and so can be useful. It might not work every time, but if you kind of try over and over again, you might get lucky with trying to get past a tough wave. And another one is the Spirit Orb. Reduces the enemy's energy when an allied hero's normal attack hits someone, amplified with Graveborn, and then the Terrify, which basically just means they're not going to do anything for that amount of time. And so those can be some useful options as well. Obviously, it's not going to work every time. You might need to put on auto and let it try 5, 6, 7 times just to get through. That's the thing with Orthros. Sometimes you get lucky with some burst, with some crit, and sometimes you don't. And so you just have to try it over and over again. But that is my tips on how to get through Orthros. I'm curious if you guys have any strategies that I didn't mention. Always looking for new ways to get through certain waves that are particularly annoying. And so if you have any tips, I want to see what you have to say in the comments. So make sure you leave in the comments. If you like this video and you want to see more content, make sure you like and subscribe. And as always, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.